And welcome back to Houston Newsmakers. And good morning to Donna Cole, the president and CEO of Cole Chemical. It's always good to see you, especially when we're talking about something good. We're talking about the upcoming Women of Color Conference. You always find yourself in these good things and just want to make people better. What is that conference all about?
It's all about uniting women of color for a future going forward. The Center for Asian Pacific Women, which I've been on the board for many years, so 28 years, and we haven't moved women of color or Asian women to where we want them to be. So we thought after the shooting in Atlanta, this would be a great time to unite women of color, right?
Yeah. One of the things I talked about, I want to revisit a statistic I used just before the break, and that was some of the stats. We're talking about the C-level of leadership here. 1 in 4 C-suite executives is a woman. Only 1 in 20 is a woman of color. Talk about why you think there continues to be such a disparity and how you think this conference might be able to start helping to change some of that.
Well, you know, I think there has to be some awareness of the stats, and then also people need to go ahead and check the box. Because I think if you don't check the box, people aren't going to voluntarily bring somebody of color on their board or in an executive position. So in some ways, I think having that box for somebody is good, but having more than one box is even better because they do lag behind. But you know, so what's happening now, and especially after COVID, there's many women leaving corporate America, right? Or even nonprofits, because there's even microaggression in nonprofits, and Black women suffer the most. So 30% are leaving nonprofits, right? And you have 50% of the women-owned business that are starting. There's 1,800 a day starting. Half of those are women of color. So, you know, we think it's very important for us to bring forward business techniques, right, and skills and leadership and personal development. So that's why we're doing this conference. And
I should note that you're not only just the president and CEO of Cole Chemical, you're also the founder, which kind of lets you know, hey, look, you had to go through some barriers to get to this point. You're going to be one of the presenters there as well. What kind of things are you going to present to let people know, let women know what they need to do and can do to go ahead and get up to a higher level?
Well, I think what we need to do is tell them about the landmines. Right? What have the challenges been that we've been through, or what are the things that we've done that were failures and that we've learned from them? Because, you know, you can only grow and be successful if you fail and you try again, right? And you learn from it. So sharing is great, and we're going to do some networking. We're also, the human effectiveness piece is so important, right?
When you say human effectiveness, what do you mean?
Effective communication, right? So how many times does somebody say in their review is that, you know, well, you need to improve on your communication skills. Well, what exactly does that mean, right? Does that mean you have an accent, or you use colloquialisms that people don't understand, right?
So the conference itself, broken down in 3 days, starting with the first day, by the way, next Thursday is when this is happening, next Thursday, March 9th, devoted to the vibrancy. We got a graphic talking about this. Starting the first day, next Thursday, devoted to the vibrancy of Houston entrepreneurs, followed by a networking dinner. That's a good way to get it started, isn't it?
It is, because we have so many women starting in business. So let's help them figure out how to start in business, but more importantly, how do you grow to those next levels, right? And so one of them for me was, because I use Cole in my name, is how do you keep companies from suing you or individuals because of your corporate veil, right? Because your name is associated personally with your company. And so, you know, I remind women, if you're going to do that, that's great. But remember, when you sign checks, when you sign anything, put a title or authorized representative so that you don't get sued.
Another day, second day is another full day focused on leadership development. And that clearly is something that is something, if you're going to be a leader, you got to really know how to do it.
Right. Leadership in business, leadership in the community, leadership in corporate America, and how are we going to collaborate and work together? The other is civic engagement, right, in the community. And voting is so important.
So then we have skills building, which would seem to be really important in order to navigate all the challenges you're talking about.
Exactly. So that's Saturday. It's skill building. It's a half a day. It's going to be very intensive. They're like 2 hours to work on yourself and you, me. And how do we present ourselves so that we can engage people, that they will embrace you and want to hear from you. Right. Instead of, you know, not really listening, you know, and looking over your shoulder.
I should let people know I've known Donna for a long time. I'm always amazed at what you do. When I look at the list of speakers that are there, they're all Donna Cole. They're all like you. They're all just really, really successful. And that just the list of speakers is going to be amazing.
Oh, it is amazing. We have Linda Clements, who's coming in, who's talking about body language. We have Amy Yip coming about mental health and how you can change your mental wellness. And we have another lady, Laura Wong, and she's talking about turning adversity into an advantage, right?
And there's a lot of adversity out there.
Absolutely.
How we're going to be able to do that. Well, okay, so the conference starts next Thursday, correct?
Next Thursday.
People can still sign up?
Oh, absolutely. Go online to CAPAW.org, and we're using Huba, and so they can register there, they can see the agenda, they can see the bios of all of our speakers.
You got to do that. Please do that. That is you go to that site and you can see all the amazing women that are there. I'm sure that once you see that, you say, I got to make time to do this.
Absolutely.
Time well spent for those who show up, correct?
You bet.
Donna Cole, thank you so much for what you do. Always good to see. I'm always inspired by you. I feel like I got to do more after I have a conversation with you.